Hi, my name is Azhar and this is my innovation presentation for INNOCOM 2020. I am from University Kebangsaan Malaysia and my innovation is titled Yang Berhormat Democratic Participation for Speaking Skills. This innovation is centering around the teaching and learning of English language as a second language in Malaysia, and particularly in regards of developing of speaking skills and also at the same time empowering students to have uh, more liberation in their thinking skills. So before we explore on what the innovation is actually about, let's discuss the background of why I created the innovation in the first place. So since 2013, we know that there is a Malaysian Education Blueprint that has been introduced by the Ministry of Education. And the main purpose of, not the main purpose, the main aim of the Malaysian Education Blueprint is to actually create a marketable human capital that is marketable in a global scale. So now, in order to do this, the human capitals must have very good speaking skills, particularly English speaking skills. Many studies have shown that speaking skills is very important. English speaking skills is very important for one person to be marketable and to be hired by competitive international industry. Even our then Prime Minister also put in a lot of gravity on the importance of being able to converse in English. So now, with that aside, it is also very important for us to note that since 2019, it has become legalized for youth as young as 18 years old become eligible to vote. So now for them to be able to vote, they need to understand the democratic process. So which means that they need to create a democratic awareness within themselves. So it's not about what the political dealings and everything that people consider as corrupted and become keyboard warriors. Not that. It is about the system of how the process of democratic participation or democratic process happens in Malaysia. How the situation happens. Most youth or even adults like me probably don't understand the democratic process in the first place. So how are they going to vote at young age of 18 years old? So now my innovation is looking to encompass all of this. Now we are going to look at why Yang Berhormat democratic participation is the way to go in the next slide. So why democratic participation for me is considered relevant is because we seldom have opportunities, not seldom, most of the time we don't have opportunities to speak English. For a teacher to teach English in class, we only have at most, and that is very rare, a week we only have 4 hours to teach English as a whole. We are not. It is not okay, and we cannot afford to use all the 4 hours to only teach speech, to only teach how to speak English. We have other skills to cover, and that is on top writing, grammar, reading, and also listening sometimes. So we don't have space. It is almost impossible for us to teach speaking English in classroom, and because students don't really practice outside of classroom. And that brings me to the second point, because students or learners will have problems with inhibitions and also anxieties because the influence of the first language, which is not a problem. However, if they don't really want to try because they are shy or they are ashamed, if they speak English, they are going to be viewed as stupid by their friends. And that is a real actual problem that is actually going on in the teaching world right now. So we are looking on how to solve this problem, on how to make students be more comfortable to speak English, and when they practice, they are going to develop their speaking skills. At the same time, students also need the mental faculty of to give them weightage or to give them gravitas for them to speak something of substance. Now, youth in ages 16 and 17 are more prone towards something that is considered as entertainment and everything. So for them to have the maturity of thinking, to be more critical in their speech, to be more critical in their thinking, they need to have an input that is going to be challenging for them. And that is why I choose democratic participation. We're going to look at the innovation structure in the next slide. So this is the structure of the module. So we have input where teachers are going to teach their students about the process of democratic participation. just like what you see on the screen with the handouts of Dewan Rakyat or the worksheet of Dewan Rakyat. And after they have their input, it's all on them. They are going to start forming a political party, they are going to go on campaigning, and they are going to go through election process, and they are going to form a government or form an opposition party for the losing side. And at the end of the day, they are going to debate in parliament sessions that is handled as close as possible to the real situation, in order for them to have the authenticity of the real activities or the real sessions in parliament. So this will be how the guideline looks like. It's going to have 3 columns, and this guideline, this module, is actually created for teachers as a tool for them, in order for them to be empowered of doing this in their own classrooms. So we have 3 columns. The first one is the phase, and we have almost 7 phases in this whole process. And the second column is going to be the learning outcomes that is taken from both KBSM, because Form 5 students are still under KBSM this year, and also KSSM, which is the new syllabus. And then the third column is the activities. The activities that the students have to go through. This is only suggestions of activities. Teachers may adapt and adopt as much as they want, if they want to do it. And then also at the end, there's going to be a student product that is actually tallied to the learning outcomes that is listed in the second column. So the student's product is actually a yardstick, or probably an assessment tool for teachers to see if the students really acquired the skills that we wanted from the learning outcomes in the second column. Since this activity has already been carried out by me in 2 schools already, and with 2 large group of students, I can tell you that it is very, very beneficial. Why is democratic participation, and why is my module of Yang Berhormat is very, very important? Now, the first one is that it's very important for me that we follow the requirement of the Malaysian Education Blueprint that is already proposed by the, that is already given out by the Ministry of Education. Now, the first one, and this is one of the most important things, is that this program of this module or this guideline is actually fulfilling all 6 students' aspiration that is already outlined by the Ministry of Education. So how is this possible? So we're going to look at all the 6 students' aspiration one by one. The first one is knowledge. Now, this is very this is a given, because students learn new things about democratic citizenship. Number 2 is bilingual proficiency. Now, this is also a given, because this activity is carried out in English. So since they have Bahasa Melayu, and also they are learning English at the same time, so this promotes bilingual proficiency. The third one is thinking skills, because when students wanted to present or campaign or debate, they have to create this interrogative mind, and also they need to speak persuasively. So this is going to empower their thinking skills and become more critical at the end of the day. Now, the fourth one is ethics and spirituality. Since this program is in regard with political process, which means that they need to understand how to act ethically. The process that they have to go through need to be always advised by teachers or any other adults for them to understand on how to make decisions in the process ethically. The fifth aspiration is leadership skill. Since this is actually training students to be members of parliament. They are going to be wakil rakyat of their own constituency that is created within their school, which means that in respect, they are going to be leaders of their own constituency. So this is a very good practice for them to hone their leadership skill. And at the end, and it's not really clear down there, is the sixth aspiration, which is one of the most important one, which is national identity. Now, this program is going to create more responsible citizens, for them to care enough about their country, for them to learn that it is actually not easy for us to govern a country, even though this is only a simulation. Because this has already been done in my classroom before, and students' reflection have shown, and students themselves have shown during interviews and everything, that they understand more about the democratic process of the country, and they understand now how to vote and how important their vote is when they reach 18 years old later. Apart from the sixth expiration, which is the first benefits of this, is that we solve the problem. We create opportunities for students to speak, where I can see shy students or students who doesn't really want to speak in class. Now they wanted to speak during the program, and also this shows that anxiety and inhibitions actually has been thrown out of the window, because they feel that this is more important for them to do. They are so eager for their voice to be heard during the debate or during the interview, because they have put in the effort since the beginning of the process, and they recognize that this is actually their effort, and they need to so every one of them speak during this activity, which shows that speaking skills is practiced and speaking skills is developed, which brings me to the next benefit. As you can see from the picture, they look very happy with the program that is being carried out. That is one of the most important things that is achieved by this innovation program. Now, the next benefit that I talked about just now is the increase of oral scores, which means that their speaking skills actually improve after this program is carried out. I've done a pre-test, and the average percentage of students' marks out of 30 is actually 22.56 marks. It's not percent, it's actually marks, and points. It is out of 30. Now, after the post-test, after the program has been carried out, I did a post-test of speaking skills, and they improved by 5.18 points average collectively, and 100% of the students have increased their marks at least by 2 and at most by 7 or 8. With all the benefits that I have presented, it actually shows that the Young Berhormat program, by using democratic participation, actually is very beneficial, not only to improve the students' speaking skills, and it is also very beneficial in order to improve the students' thinking skills and also improve their social skills as well. That is something that I didn't see coming, but it happened anyway. So I think that's all for my presentation. So if you have any questions or comments, I know that this is a virtual presentation and this is actually recorded, but please do let me know. My email is there, cikguazharkhanashfar@gmail.com. That's my name, Muhammad Azhar bin Ashfar Ahmad, and that is the name of my partner, who is also my mentor, Dr. Azlina binti Abdul Aziz, who is actually a lecturer in UKM. So with that, I thank you for your time.